So you're 65, and you told me earlier that you are embarking on a new journey, a 10-year journey. Tell me about that.
It's called madness. No, I'm just kidding. I have committed myself for 10 years, so long as I'm living, to create something called Second Chances Farm. And it has two very different ideas that come together. My goal is to create compassionate capitalists over 10 years by hiring people who come out of prison at $15 an hour initially, and they will work in vertical farms that produce organic, herbicide and pesticide-free food, which are all hydroponic. And we plan to do it in multiple communities, starting in Wilmington, Delaware. And by doing this, we hope to give opportunities for people who are not given a second chance after they paid their debt to society.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So the next question, which was actually inspired by you, one of our conversations that we had, was the examination of your own legacy. Have you done that?
Well, you forced me to do things that I have not wanted to do, or have talked publicly. I haven't talked about how my mother inspired me to do the stuff in India. I frankly took all of this for granted. You forced me to. I ended up having to double check on all the stories with my sisters and others to make sure I wasn't fantasizing about them, and my grandfather, and people were witness to all this stuff. And it was interesting because it was helpful at the age 65 to know that you just didn't drop out from a tree, that there was a lot of roots and lots of people that were there behind you. So you helped me to sort of make sure that I acknowledge lots of people on both sides of my family that helped me become who I am.
So if you were to write a book today, what would be the title?
So I'm going to give you a title, and I'm going to give you a subtitle. My title would be Graceful Surrender, Celebrate While You Are Failing. And it comes from, I happen to be a fan of British history, and when Hong Kong was surrendered back to the Chinese, Governor Chris Patton, who was Her Majesty's representative, was walking down the plank. There was this incredible ceremony, which most people will never remember or see. The HMS Britannica, was the Queen's ship, was out of the plank to meet the governor as Governor General as he left. But the British have a whole ceremony of the Battle of the Retreat, which is when they give up a territory. They brought down the Union Jack, brought the Chinese flag up, and there was all the singing. If you didn't know any better, you thought the British were taking over. And it really inspired me to learn that even in defeat, you can have ceremony, and you can have fun, and you can actually think that you are not losing. And that is really important, because nobody really wants to be with losers.
So I know you mentioned this as your last statement in your story, but I want you to repeat it. I want it to really kind of sink in for people in a different word. What is this gift that you're giving others?
I think my gift is to push people to think, why do they exist other than just working for a job? I tell people, you can work for a job that you don't like, but you can have a purpose, and you can make a difference outside your work. And often we confuse work as the only purpose. So being very conscious of what you can give outside your 8-hour work period or 10-hour work period, by volunteering and doing other things, you can make a real difference in the world.
And if you feel like that purpose is not acceptable or not acceptable by others,
you go for it, as long as it's legal and you're not imprisoned, because then I would have to give you second chance jobs, and on the staff. But the answer is, people are afraid to fail, and that's what prevents them from taking chances.
Right, that's beautiful. So if you could be the master of one thing, what would it be?
I think I would be the master of connecting people. And I think what I am very successful is connecting people with others, because we need to be interdependent on others. And I think that's the mastery that I would want to be known by.
So the last question. What is, in 3 words, what is your meaning of life?
I would say for me, the first word is resilience, because I am a survivor. I survived multiple countries, lived in many places. Courage. I think that you got to have courage. And then perhaps the most important word that I love is celebration, because that absolutely is the key to life.
It has been an absolute pleasure and honor to work with you. You've shed a lot of light and wisdom and knowledge in our process here. So thank you so much.
Could I just say a postscript? And for the people who don't know this, I have organized 32 TEDx events in Wilmington, and I have had 480 speakers, and every one of the speakers say how nervous they are on the day of the event and why they wish they had an extra month or an extra week or extra year to do it. And today I wondered why I did it. I now know what it means to be on the other side of the stage, to give a talk where you miss half of your talk. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Dan. So,
Ladies and gentlemen,